Hi guys, looking for that comfy space where you can connect to the most inspiring, enlightening, and extremely relatable topics on personal growth. We've got you covered right here on Self Love Power Podcast, powered by Sal's Epiphany Studio, in partnership with Startup Kano, Vogue Garden, MMR Bookshop, and the Unshackled Podcast. Thank you. Welcome to our season finale, and today's guest actually is the perfect guest to round up our season because he is super talented, a very talented individual. And I've been seeing him online, but I've never met him till I think yesterday or 2 days ago. And I actually got to talk to him, and I told him about the podcast, and he was like, yeah, he would love to come. And he's so humble, he's so talented, and I'm really glad that you agreed to come. So tell us about you.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Usman Ahmad, what I'm known as Zinure. I was born and raised here in Kano, Dala local government. I did my primary school and secondary school here in Kano. Then proceeded to Funtua for my remedial school, then to ABU Zaria where I did chemical engineering for 5 years. Then afterwards I served in Abuja and I started working in Abuja. And then now I work both in Abuja and Edo State, and I'm rounding up my master's in ABU Zaria as well.
Let me test if you're really from ABU Zaria. What is that thing that ABU Zaria people say? Naturally ahead. Because I also studied in ABU Zaria actually. And nice. I'm always excited to meet someone who studied there, because they're really not, you guys don't say that I always say it, but people who study in ABU Zaria, they are just different. I'm not saying they're naturally ahead, but they're like...
Yeah, I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday, and we were talking about ABU Zaria. We were saying ABU Zaria is just like a replica of Nigeria, because there you meet people from different cultures, different backgrounds and all. So it opens your horizon.
Yeah. Yes. And you guys, I never even knew that his name was Usman. Like, I've been seeing Zunurain, and I was just like, oh, what an exotic name. I did not know that was not your name.
Well, the name is Usman Zunuren. Then, but when I was in primary school, it was Zunuren I was using.
What does it mean?
Zunuren means like the honor of two lights. It has origin. So the Islamic origin is when one of the Prophet's companion married two of his daughters, one after the death of the other. So those two daughters are the lights. Wow. So the honor of two lights.
That's a beautiful name.
Yeah, so because of the way people were pronouncing it, so I was like, let me just use Usman.
Because people were pronouncing it wrong.
Zunnu, Zannu, Nure, Nura. So
yeah,
I just switched to Usman. And then officially Usman. Then on friends level on social media is Zunuren. Yes.
And I remember we were talking 2 days ago, Abi, and you were telling me that you're an engineer, and then you're a calligrapher. Like the combination. Tell us about how did you even start calligraphy, and how did you learn to combine it with engineering?
Well, I would say it's the calligraphy. It's something that I have passion for. I wasn't seeing it as calligraphy. I didn't know calligraphy when I was doing it. I used to even make banner when I was as little as maybe 12 years old. Wow. So that was Arabic banner, not English. So, and then I did this Islamic school we call Makarantang Allo, obviously where you write the Quran with your hand. I did that and I finished at 12 years. So with that, I already had the passion for calligraphy. So, and then in my past, I've done a lot of things. So I already know how to multitask. So the engineering is, let's say, what the environment taught me to be, while the calligraphy, it is in me, inborn. Yeah, it's what I love doing. So it's hard combining both the two. But then
how hard?
Extremely hard, especially when the calligraphy is business. Because if it is just passion, you do it, no expectation from nobody. But then if it is business, you have orders from people, so people expect from you. So it's just like combining office work with calligraphy, which is hard.
Yeah. And these days, I think a lot of people are starting to see the beauty of calligraphy, and a lot of people want to do it. So I know still at this point there aren't enough people doing it, right? So when you started, what was the process like? How did you really learn? Did you have difficulties getting materials and all those things?
Well, how I started my own was, I call myself calligraphy artist, and then there are those who are calligraphers. Because an artist draws, and then I can draw in any form I want to. But a calligrapher has certain specifications to follow. You have to stick to that. If you're using certain font, you have to. So, but in my own case, maybe I could combine, say, Diwani font with Thuluth, because it's art. It's how it looks, and I have maybe visions in my head what I feel will look better. So I was not taught by anyone. I used to see people's work, then imitate it, and there is no harm in doing so, because this is what I love and people are doing it. So imitate it. When you imitate it, then in your own way, how do you want it to be? Let me give you an example. A client told me if I could write the name of her boyfriend in heart form, and then I told her, I'm not sure I can do it, but I can try. Then I did it, and it turned out to be perfect. She loved it. Then I was like, okay, fine, that means I could do it. So I started to do it in different forms, star, whatever. Then that's how but then yes, sometimes I'll check YouTube for some guides and all. That's how I got to do the calligraphy, but not as a business.
How did it turn into a business? Because I know for creatives, we're used to doing things for free because we love it, we're passionate, and we don't think about the money. But how did you transition to make it a business?
Oh, okay. This has to do with a little story.
We love stories.
Yeah. When I finished school, I had problem in school. So
what kind of problem? Are we allowed to ask?
Yes, sure. I spilled over in school. I did extra year. I failed my project. I didn't do it well. It was bad experience for me because at that point in school I never had carryover. So I thought I was graduating with my colleagues, only for me to realize that I messed up. And it was my fault. Till now I would say failing my project was my fault. I was being careless, and then I got punished for it. So I was kind of sort of depressed because I knew I was supposed to graduate with my clique. We were like 7 or 8, and all of them were going. I was the only one left. That was how it felt like. So when they were serving, I was at home. So I decided to move out of my comfort zone. I moved to Abuja, and then I was just staying there. Then I realized, why staying at home every day? So I started following my brother to office to see opportunities, right? So I got to see where I could serve, where they were paying very well, and then I started serving. I was earning like 100,000 a month, blah, 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 blah. So I was used to money. I finished serving. They retained me for some months.
Why did they retain you?
Of course, it's an opportunity that I went out to look for. So I should do
very good?
I was more than average because I would do my best to see that I was retained. So I was retained, but then there was a problem because we were working for NMPC and then they didn't have their contract signed, so they had to reduce the manpower. So bad luck. Yeah. So I got sacked.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was I wouldn't say I was depressed, but then. Just like how I had failure when I finished school, and it turned out to be a blessing for me because of where I served and all. So I got used to money, remember, because I was working. So now no money. I was at home for more than a month, and then no going out, no money. So out of boredom, and then I think, like I keep saying, mental health experts used to tell us there's something they call you disconnect and reconnect. I kind of disconnected from people, and because I needed to know what's up, what could I do, you get. So I knew I was frustrated. Then I started doing things, just try this and that. Then I saw someone's DP was Arabic calligraphy. What's up? I was like, well, I can do this. So I did it. Then I wrote Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and then I posted it on Twitter, and the caption was like, my hands were bored on a Friday, and I decided to write the most beloved of names. Boom, this thing, for the first time, it got like 7,000 retweets, and then I was like, wow. And under it, people were just commenting, you can make this a business, you can make money, it looks good. And then some people were just praying, may God bless your hand. So I believe till today it is part of those people's prayers, because me, when I do my work, I see it, I'll just be like, where is the beauty? But because people have prayed, without even having to know me personally, they were praying for me, alhamdulillah. So then people were advising me to turn it to a business. And I was like, well, I'm doing nothing, so why not give it a try? So I tried, I think my first frame, I think the name Khadija, I think I spent about 800 to 1,200 that I spent to make the frame. And then the owner of the name offered to buy it 4,000. So you see? That's
like 2,000.
Yeah, more than 2,000. So I was like, oh wow, this is very lucrative business. So that was how I started. Then I have these supportive friends whom even if I offered to do for free, they were like, no, you can't do for free. Especially, I could recall even there is this friend, Red. I offered to make frame for her. Yes.
I know Red.
Yes. I offered to make frame for her for free. She kept saying, no, you can't, because you're killing the business. I'm like, all right. Then I started it as a business, and then here we are today.
MashaAllah, I think one of the things I got from what he said is having supportive people. It's really good to have supportive friends.
Yeah. And
we should also try to support our own friends, because for many people, we're used to asking our friends to do things for free.
Yeah.
Because, especially when we know they're passionate about it. So I'm really glad that you have this kind of people in your circle.
Yeah,
and you were also able to recognize that your mental health was important.
Yes.
And also taking some time to kind of, I think that's what even led to you figuring out who you want to be.
What I keep telling people is, if you experience any failure in life, it doesn't mean that's the end of the world. It could probably be the stepping stone to your success. For I feel, if you do not even experience what failure is, how are you in the best position to advise people to avoid failure? True. Because I already know what it feels to fail. So when I'm advising somebody, I'll tell him, this is how I fail. You can avoid this in order not to fail.
True.
So, I mean, I would say spillover, getting sacked, are one of the best things that have happened to me.
But when it's happening, it's like the worst. But after a while,
it was draining. It was mentally draining. But later on, I keep saying what matters is how you accept it, how you try to bounce back. If you let it weigh you down, that's where the problem is. But when you feel, I need to do better, I need to get back, because like in my case, when I knew I spilled, I accepted it was my problem. And I realized that I needed to do the right thing. So I went back and I did my homework, and then here we are. Yeah,
so do you still do your engineering like as a career?
Yes, I do, but I said it's quite hard. It's very, very hard. How? Because
what engineering?
Chemical engineering. Yeah. But I think also how my childhood was helped to shape my present situation, because I normally tell people that I've done a lot. when I was a shoemaker at the age of 12. Yes.
Oh wow!
I
At the age of 12, you were many things.
Yeah, I was. Yes, 12. In my 12th year, it was almost my everything. That was when I did my Quranic graduation. That was when I started secondary school. That was when I started business, like serious one that I know it's me, not helping somebody. I was a shoemaker at that age, and then afterwards I was a tailor also. And then we used to even sell at some point too. I can't recall the age actually. I used to sell water. At that time they don't have this sachet water they call pure water. You tie it in a nylon and then you sell it 1 naira. I used to sell it also. And
wait, calm down. Let's ask, how old are you? Because this one you're saying 1 naira. Me, I can't remember.
1 naira is not. I don't know when, but I think even around 98, 99. 2000, I maybe from where I grew up, I wasn't familiar with the sachet water, obviously. So yeah, I was saying maybe my area, because obviously I grew up, I'm a ghetto boy. So
ghetto boy, Ken.
Yes, I grew up in a very ghetto area. So
which area in Kano?
What if I say the area and they feel insulted?
Okay, fine.
Well, there is this area they call Jakara, Cheyer Engurasa, Kulkul. Yeah, that was the area. So I was just trying different things, and then there is this tailoring work where you use hand to sew the design on the shirt like this.
You did that too?
They call it kufta.
Okay.
I did that. That one I can still do it till now.
But you don't do it?
No, I don't.
Why?
It's hard. That time when you do one neck, that was 2005, Sha. When you do one neck, the whole neck of a boy, they will give us 100 naira.
Wow. So you really did a lot of things.
Yes, so it is why maybe today I can combine, because I can remember 2019, I was working at Edo, then I started my master's, and then with calligraphy. That was 3 things: school, business, work.
Wow.
So, and then it's not just about the school, business, and work, it's about traveling. I was not financially stable to travel from Edo to Zaria by air, by flight. But so I used to take the route. So it was quite stressful. Maybe I'll leave Edo Thursday, arrive Zaria, maybe Friday, do my classes, go back to Abuja, do some of the works, go back to Edo, like that. So it was not easy. But then now I'm done with the studies.
But now you're financially stable, alhamdulillah.
Now, alhamdulillah.
So one of the questions I like to ask my guests is about society and community. What do you think young people are facing in our community that is really worrying, or something that you think needs a solution?
It's as people say, it's not rocket science. It's very obvious: unemployment. So, but the problem is, a young man would graduate and then not try to do anything and just be waiting for the government to offer a job for them. And if you could see how many schools do we have, how many graduates do we have.
Exactly.
So it's not a matter of waiting for government to give you a job. It's looking out there. It's not all the times that opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to create the need.
Just like you did.
Because I feel it's not every one that would feel they need frame. Before I started, people were doing it, but I'm among the few pioneers that have started it as a business, obviously. So, but then it didn't discourage me because people were not doing it. It only encouraged me that people were not doing it. Then you can make people start liking it.
How did you do that? Because I'm very interested in learning how you started making people want something that people don't even naturally want to buy.
Well, okay, it's social media. That's my business, obviously, because I don't have physical showroom. Although we are on the way for that, but as they say in marketing on social media, well, it's not like I've learned it somewhere, but I feel your caption matters also. It attracts people, how you caption. For instance, maybe I made some frames and then I tried to give them the best shots that I have, pictures. And then when I'm posting them, and then I'll just be like, imagine replacing all the photos in your house with these beautiful names of Allah, or your names in the house. Imagine. And then maybe somebody never gave it a thought, and then
you just saying like, that makes me want to do it.
so someone will just be like, oh yeah, that's nice, because okay, I just woke up and then I saw Allah. The first thing I said is Allah. That's perfect. Yeah. Do I need to be seeing myself? It's my picture. I am the one. I can look at the mirror, but then I can see, oh yeah, but let me appreciate maybe how my name is written in Arabic. Probably some people do not even know how my name is written in Arabic. Somebody will just walk into your room and just be like, what's this? And you just be like, hey, that's my name in Arabic. And then people are like, wow, I love it. I want to get mine in Arabic too. So you see, if I knew how to write in Chinese, I would. Yes, because people are not familiar with it. And a lot of us
should start.
Well, it's not like I've not given it a thought, but let's see how it goes. So people will just be like, I would love to see how my name looks in Chinese.
I would love to see mine.
So you see, so because even my customers, it's not like they're all Muslims. Some are Christians, and I do their names, and they're happy. Yeah. Because Arabic is just a language. It doesn't mean when you speak Arabic you have to be Muslim, or when you hang Arabic something you have to be Muslim.
And people don't know that, so I'm glad that your craft is
I always tell people that it's not just an Islamic something just because it's Arabic. Arabic is just like any other language. Hausa, Yoruba. In fact, I write tribal names. I can recall I wrote Moyo, I wrote Olubukola. Last week I wrote
in Arabic?
Yeah, Kolowale, all those names. So it's just that one you can write them using what we call Ajami, obviously, because we used to write Hausa using Arabic letters, and that's what we call Ajami. That's what we have on our Naira notes, 200 Naira, you see it. But people, when they see it, they think it's Islamic. It is not. It is just language barrier. Some people cannot read it with the English letters, but that doesn't mean they are all learned. But they can read with Arabic letters, especially with our region. So I'm glad that my work reaches out to places like Lagos, Ibadan, where you write in Arabic, but it's Yoruba name. You get, and some would even be Christians, like the ones I wrote George, I wrote Brima, and many more.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So as I said, unemployment. Back to your question.
Back.
So unemployment, you don't wait, you create the need. And even if you don't see the opportunity, you try to create it. And then if you can't, maybe you need to take a step back, think, what am I good at? What is it that I love doing? Even if I'm not going to get paid, I love doing it. And then if I love doing it, why don't I do it? And if I do it, why don't I do it good? If I do it good, would attract people. So
and
people
then if I do it, start getting paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some people love to write. Okay, why don't I write? And then, okay, when I write, why don't I maybe start publicizing it slowly with my friends around? And especially in this era that we are, any business you can do it on social media.
Every passion is now a skill.
Yes,
actually,
it is.
When I was much younger, I used to write like plays and just pointless stories and all of those things. And growing up, people would bring their homeworks or stuff and ask me to help them. And I never even knew that there were people that were called bloggers or copywriters.
So exactly.
Until now.
You see? So if you had nourished it, maybe you had continued like that.
Made money.
So it's never too late. You can still try.
Yeah.
So, and one of my aims as a calligrapher, as a business owner, is not just to grow as Noreen, it's to bring young people like me to work together. Because by Allah, God knows, my intention is I want to have a company where people that probably do not even go to school can work under me. Why? Because I feel everything we are dealing with, the rate of crimes, it's just because we don't have employment. People are hungry.
Yeah.
People are poor. People are jobless. So
The
the rate of
mind.
the rate of cyber crimes, the rate of all this internet fraud and all this internet fraud, they are educated young men and women that do fraud online. They are educated, but they don't know how to put it to use. But then if you can
How to put it to use
positively, yes. But then if I should have, let's say, 10 people working under me, that's somewhere to start. Maybe 10 people, they will learn from me. The 10 people would go and take 10 people under them. That's like 100
like
under
an ecosystem of change.
Yes. So if most business owners will think like that, and then when you have somebody that says, put me through, put them through, it doesn't matter.
I have a question. Why is it that people feel when someone asks you to teach them something, especially something that you suffered to learn, right, that many people don't know, and then some people like to hesitate or they don't want to show you the way? What do you think about that?
It's greed. And even in your own business, if you're greedy, you are killing your business.
How?
Yes. Because, okay, if you are greedy, you will not settle for a very little profit margin. You would always aim higher. You get? But if you are contented, yes, then you would always see, okay, this is little, may God bless it, I'm okay with it. With the little, you have more turnout. People would just be ordering because you are not pricing too much.
Yeah.
So, and then when you are greedy, you feel when somebody comes, it suffered me to learn this, and then you just want me to teach you for free. I'm not saying you should give them for free, you get, but you can put them through. And even if you say, okay, now I want to start charging because, okay, I have this plan that I want to have maybe a calligraphy academy, but of course I don't want to put a high price, obviously, because the aim is to change the system. So if you are not greedy, obviously you are not thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the society. If you are the richest person in the world, if your society is not secured, is not safe, what's the meaning of the money?
There's no peace of
even
mind.
If you travel out, some of your relatives are still here, some of your relatives are still there. Your body is there, but your soul is here.
True.
With your loved ones at home. So
what has been your biggest achievement in life?
In life or in this business?
Well,
in life, my biggest achievement.
It can be the business, but generally speaking.
My biggest achievement in life. Well, it's something that is continuous. Maybe it has to do with my personal character, right? So it is something I love to do. It makes me happy. It's my biggest achievement. So it is when I am able to impact in people's life, no matter how little it is. That is my biggest achievement. It's not about the money I know. It's how I impact into your life. And no matter how little we stay, I just try to see, okay, it's not just stay like that. I want to impact into your life. And even if you don't impact into my life, or maybe there are one or two things I'll learn from you.
True.
But then if I could change you. I had a best friend in 2006. Yes. I used to go to the sitting place where we call Majalisa.
Yeah.
Well, they were all these smokers. They would take all these things, weed, whatever. Well, I was little, yes. I was 15 years. I would go stay with him, and he was like 5 years older than me. I would stay with him. I got close to him. Then I started to show him the disadvantage of cigarette. Because I feel if you want to make changes, you don't just hate people for what they do. Maybe you try to get close to them if you are very sure that they will not influence you.
Yeah.
And then I was able to get close to him, show him the effect of cigar, and then if he sees me later, he will now hide the cigar if he's taking the cigar. At first, he would take it freely, but then later on, now that I realized he was shy of me, I said, okay, why don't we start going to social school together? It's like, people will say, I'm not the good guy. I was like, don't mind what people say, come with me. And then I used to go with him. I think along the line he stopped. And then he was able to memorize the Holy Quran.
Oh,
he was able to, he's now married, he has his own daughter, and he's doing well. So you see, whenever I remember him, it gives me joy. I'm not saying it out of pride, but for people, I don't know how many people this thing will reach to, but then they should try to impact into people's lives, no matter how little.
Yeah.
That is it. So that's my achievement.
You know, the other day, when we were talking to Ziz, shout out to Ziz also. Thank you for telling me to bring him on board. It's been amazing. When you were talking to him, he was asking you about the carrot and the stick, of how you criticize and help people to be better. And I think you just said that in what you did. People often, when they see someone doing wrong, they often just go and tell them, what you're doing is wrong, and the person feels awful and ashamed. But like, I really love the process you went to, understanding how the person feels and just gradually guiding them to the right path.
Yeah. In my own case, like maybe you heard me talking to this that day. I said, if you come to with critics or trying to correct me, well, I know I am human. Maybe the language, the manner of speech you come with might hurt me, but then at long run, I understand that it's correction. And if I'm not open to critics, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. So, but then if I am the one to correct someone, I wouldn't go harsh. I would be very choosy of the words I use. I would encourage you first because you try. I would encourage you for giving it a trial. I would acknowledge that you did well. At the same time, I will tell you, however, there are some places you can do so touch, you can do so touch. And then maybe you should try to watch so. Maybe I'll now maybe connect, because I know I'm a very busy person. Then maybe I can be like, okay, I recommend so person. So I think that's the better way to do it, or rather my own way to do it, because I feel it's not everyone that is open to critics.
Exactly.
But then you have to also make them understand that they have to be open to critics. So Alhamdulillah, I am very, very glad. I had never for once in my life thought I would be an inspiration to many people. You are. I had no idea, but Alhamdulillah, yes, people tell me that.
I mean, you've had, I went to your page, I saw that you had this interview with is it BBC?
Daily Trust TV, and then, well, a number of them.
A number of them. That's what people say when they want to be humble. But you guys should just check his page. I think you have like, how many thousand followers? Was it 14? I saw, or is it my eyes?
14.
About 14,000 followers, which is really amazing. And I've seen your work. Your work is, I wish that you had brought your work for the audience to see, but
maybe
like
next time.
Yeah, well, I can just put it inside the video so that you guys see how amazing his work is. Reminding you guys that we're still giving out free meal tickets from Vogue Gardening for this special season finale, because we have a very, very special guest. We're actually giving out 2 free meal tickets at the same time. So we'll let you know how you can win the free meal tickets. There's this signature question that I ask before I end every episode of the podcast.
Okay.
So the name of this podcast is Self-Love Power. Why do you think we named it that way?
Self-love power. Okay. I would, maybe I would just guess because I don't know. Yeah. So maybe it is because people do not know how important, or rather how powerful self-love can be. Because I feel with self-love you can go places, and I feel even in my story it's part of it, because realizing I love calligraphy, it is what I love doing. So why not do what I love doing for my own self? So that is where I gain my power. So if I'm connecting my story to your name of the program, that's just it. So,
are you sure you did not cheat? You didn't go and see the answers from the past episodes, because you're giving this very accurate answer. I don't get.
So I just feel maybe that's it. So,
But you're correct. That's why we named this podcast Self-Love Power, because
Yeah.
we think they are the three most important things in life. Yourself, what you love, who you love, what empowers you. So if you had to choose between self, love and power, which one will you choose and why?
self-love and power. I'll choose love.
Okay, why?
Okay, because okay, love. I feel love will still bring me back to myself. I feel, and then I feel. I don't know. It's just me.
It's your opinion. It's correct.
And I feel love. It's love itself is power. Because what love can do, a lot of things cannot do. Even money cannot do.
True.
Because let me give you an example. A boy loves a girl, and then she is his soft spot, right? Like I'm a lover person. I love love.
We know. We know.
So this girl whom I love, she's my soft spot. That means she has power. She doesn't even know she has that
Wait.
power.
This one, is it theory or reality? Is
real.
it example you are giving us or are you telling us?
It is reality.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, she has this power. Maybe she doesn't even know she has the power. For instance, and then maybe there is something I'm doing, and then maybe other people tried to change it in me, and then it's kind of hard, or maybe I do not even realize. But because it comes from her, and because of that love I have for her, so that means she has that power, and she only gained that power using love. And then so she could change me, of course. That aside, but then back to where love, I believe love will bring me to myself, because obviously with love I'll be back to myself. I love myself, so I'll do what myself want. And then with that love, whatever I'm doing is out of love. It gives me the power, unstoppable power. And that's why I feel, I mean, like I call my brand Nuren's Creation. It's just, I mean, this is the beginning of, like, I don't know how to put it, but I know we are going to grow big, because it's love that is the driving force. So I'll choose love.
We're going to give you the award for Master of Love, because I don't think in any of these episodes there's anyone who has like explained why love is it for them like this. So thank you guys for watching this season finale. I'm so happy that you got to meet Zunurain, who is a humble, really talented person. Please follow him on Instagram at Zunurain. And follow us on Instagram at Self-Love Power Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube and wait for instructions on how to win the free meal ticket to Vogue Garden. See you guys on the comment section. Bye.